All right, welcome back, everybody, to another deep dive.
Yeah.
Today, we are heading straight to the factory floor
Okay.
to check out how the manufacturing world is getting a digital makeover.
Mm-hmm.
And, especially when it comes to keeping those huge machines,
Right.
those massive machines running,
Yeah.
in tip-top shape.
For sure.
So,
Excellent.
for this deep dive, we are going to be looking at a data sheet
Okay.
from a company called Sigga.
Interesting.
And the numbers they are throwing around are pretty wild.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
think about this.
Mm-hmm.
Deloitte
Okay.
found that unplanned downtime
Yeah.
costs manufacturers like a crazy $50 billion every year.
Wow.
That's billion with a B.
Yeah, that's a big number.
So huge.
There's got to be,
Yeah.
like a big push to find solutions, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then that is where digital transformation comes in.
Right.
So.
Yeah, you've hit the nail on the head.
Okay.
Manufacturers are in a tough spot these days.
Supply chains are still kind of messed up.
Yeah.
It's really hard to find skilled workers.
Yeah.
And, costs are going up everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And to make things even worse, a lot of factories are still using these like old school paper-based systems
Really?
to manage maintenance.
Wow.
Like, can you imagine trying to troubleshoot some crazy complicated piece of equipment with a giant stack of manuals?
Oh, yeah.
It's just not efficient.
No, it's like
Well-
trying to navigate a new city with a paper map
Right.
when everyone else has GPS.
Exactly.
Yeah, so the data sheet we are looking at, it really focuses on this idea
Okay.
of increasing revenue
Mm-hmm.
by decreasing downtime,
Right.
which makes sense, right?
Yeah. Keep those machines humming and the money keeps flowing.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
That's the sweet spot
yeah.
that Sigga's going after
Okay.
with their software.
Okay.
So, they're presenting themselves as the solution to this very real problem that manufacturers are facing.
But, anytime a company is pushing their product,
Right.
it's good to look at their claims,
Yeah, with the critical eye.
With a critical eye.
Yeah, so let's dig into that.
Yeah.
They're talking about some impressive digital transformation successes, right?
Yeah.
They say their clients see something like a 15% reduction
Okay.
in maintenance costs
Wow.
and a 25% increase
Okay.
in what they call technician wrench time,
Mm.
which basically means like
Yeah.
the time actually spent hands-on,
Right.
with the equipment.
Instead of like,
Yeah.
hunting for manuals or doing paperwork.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So less admin work,
Got it.
more hands-on time, more wrench time.
Yeah. More wrench time.
Okay.
And on top of that, they're saying there's like a 20% decrease
Wow.
in administrative work.
Mm.
So like, are those numbers realistic?
Well, that's what they're reporting as their averages, right?
Yeah.
So, that means some companies are seeing even better results.
Right. While others might not see as much of a change,
Yeah.
it's kind of like, if you get a fancy new kitchen gadget,
Okay.
it can make cooking faster and easier.
Yeah.
But it really comes down to how good of a cook are you
Mm.
and how well you actually use it in your kitchen.
Right. So it's
Yeah.
not just a plug-and-play solution.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But, the human element here is really interesting.
Okay.
They're saying that over 70,000 technicians around the world are using their mobile apps every day.
Oh, it's a lot.
Like, that's a huge shift
That's a big change.
away from the paper-based systems.
Yeah, it shows you how much mobile technology is changing how we work.
Yeah.
And not just in manufacturing.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
Like, you see it.
Yeah.
Doctors are using tablets to look at patient records.
Mm-hmm.
Delivery drivers rely on apps for navigation.
Right.
Even retail workers,
Yeah.
they're using mobile devices to process transactions.
Exactly. It's becoming
Yeah.
the new normal.
It is.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
So the data sheet mentions that technicians can now access like equipment manuals, checklists,
Yeah.
even parts availability,
Mm-hmm.
all instantly, right there on the factory floor.
Right.
So what are some of the maybe less obvious ways
Yeah.
that kind of instant access
Mm-hmm.
could boost efficiency?
Well, for one, it cuts down on the time wasted
Yeah.
searching for information
Okay.
or waiting for instructions.
Yeah.
Like, let's say a technician needs to replace a part on a machine, right?
Okay.
Instead of having to like track down their supervisor
Right.
or dig through a ton of paper manuals,
Yeah.
they can just pull up the exact specs and instructions they need
Right on their tablet.
right there on their tablet.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
That can make a huge difference in how fast they can finish the job.
Totally.
Yeah.
And then there's that real-time data aspect that Sigga is really emphasizing.
Yeah.
So they say technicians can like instantly send notifications, turn those into work orders,
Okay.
and get things moving right away.
Right.
And this all goes back to that
Yeah.
reducing unplanned downtime idea.
So the data sheet also talks about
Oh.
smart scheduling,
Hmm.
which takes into account things like capacity, resources, and
Right.
priorities. Right.
What is that all about?
Well, think of it this way.
Okay.
Traditional maintenance is usually reactive, right?
Yeah, you wait for something to break,
You wait for something to break.
and then you fix it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But smart scheduling lets you be more proactive.
Okay.
So you know by analyzing data
Okay.
from different places,
Yeah.
like sensor readings,
Right.
machine usage patterns, even weather forecasts.
Wow.
These systems can actually predict when maintenance will probably be needed
Oh, wow.
before anything even goes wrong.
That's cool.
Yeah, so this means fewer emergencies,
Okay.
smoother operations,
Mm-hmm.
and it ultimately improves something called overall equipment effectiveness.
Or OEE.
Or OEE, yeah, which basically measures how productive your equipment is.
Okay, so it's kind of like taking your car in for regular tune-ups
Exactly.
to avoid, bigger problems down the road.
Right.
So it sounds like these digital tools really can
Yeah,
have a big impact
they can.
in factory maintenance.
They can.
But like we've talked about,
It's not a magic bullet.
it's not just about installing the software.
You can't just install the software and call it a day.
Right.
Yeah, success depends on how well these systems actually fit into
Yeah.
the way things already work
Mm-hmm.
and how well employees are trained to use them.
Right.
And, this is something to think about.
Okay.
We're just at the start of this digital transformation
Yeah.
in manufacturing.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting to think about how these trends might,
Yeah.
spread to other industries
Mm-hmm.
and maybe even affect our everyday lives in ways we haven't even thought of yet.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
thanks for joining us
it's been fun.
for this deep dive
Yeah.
into the world of digital manufacturing.
Absolutely.
Let's stay
See you later.